Hi everyone, and welcome back to the virtual classroom where we look, listen and learn together. I have this beautiful box here of a collection, and this is a collection of lots of different things. Smells like nature in here. Lots of natural materials, pine cones and autumn leaves, gum leaves, pine needles, gum nuts. Quite an interesting collection. It makes a crunchy rustling sound when I shake it. And when I put my hand in, there's lots of different textures in there. This box reminded me of a story. And it's a story where there are Australian animals and where they are in a forest where some of these appear. And it might be a favourite of many of yours. It's Possum Magic. You see the possum here? And there's a koala friend on the front too. And this is by Mem Fox, this book. This has been a favourite because it's got a bit of wear and tear to it. Some of your books at home might have a bit of wear and tear to them. Some of the pages might be a little bit crinkled because they've been turned so much. This is a favourite book at my house, and when I was a little kid I used to love this book too, and so maybe I thought we could read this together. You might have this book at home, and if you do, you could get it, you could turn the pages with me and look at your book as well. It's that beautiful gum tree, some of those leaves that I have in my nature box. Once upon a time, but not very long ago, deep in the Australian bush lived two possums. Their names were Hush and Grandma Poss. Grandma Poss made magic. She made wombats blue, kookaburras pink. She made dingoes smile and emus shrink. But the best of all was the magic that made Hush invisible. Uh-oh, can't really see Hush anymore, can we? But adventures Hush had because she couldn't be seen and she couldn't be squashed. She could be squashed by koalas. Oh dear, look at that big furry koala eating leaves. The koala didn't know that it was sitting on Hush's tail. Because she couldn't be seen, she could slide down kangaroos. Whee! That's fun. Because she couldn't be seen, she was safe from snakes. Whew. Which is why Grandma Poss had made her invisible in the first place. That's a smart thing. But one day, quite unexpectedly, Hush said, "Grandma, I want to know what I look like. Please could you make me visible again?" "Of course I can," said Grandma Poss, and she began to look through her magic books. She looked into this book and she looked into that. There was magic for thin and magic for fat, magic for tall and magic for small. But the magic she was looking for wasn't there at all. Oh dear, she's looking very hard. She can't find the magic. Grandma Poss looked miserable. Can you make a miserable face? "Don't worry, Grandma," said Hush. "I don't mind." But in her heart of hearts, she did. She didn't feel too happy. All night long, Grandma Poss thought and thought. The next morning, just before breakfast, she shouted, "It's something to do with food. People food, not possum food, but I can't remember what. We'll just have to try and find it." So later that day, they left the bush where they'd always been to find what it was that would make Hush be seen again. This possum is riding a bike. Grandma Poss is riding the bike. Haven't seen that before. They ate Anzac biscuits in Adelaide, Mornay and Minties in Melbourne, steak and salad in Sydney, and pumpkin scones in Brisbane. Hush remained invisible. Don't lose heart, said Grandma Poss. Let's see what we can find in Darwin. They're going all the way up to the top end of Australia. It was there in the far north of Australia that they found a Vegemite sandwich. Grandma Poss crossed her claws and crossed her feet. Can you cross your fingers? Let's hope. Hush breathed deeply and began to eat. Eat your sandwich. A tail, shouted both possums at once, for there it was, a brand new, visible tail. It's that Vegemite sandwich. Yum. Later on at the beach in Perth, they ate a piece of pavlova. Hush's legs appeared, so did her body. You look wonderful, you precious possum, said Grandma Poss. Next stop, Tasmania. And over the sea they went. Wow. In Hobart, late one night in the kitchens of the casino, they saw a lamington on a plate. Hush closed her eyes and nibbled. Grandma Poss held her breath and waited. It worked, she cried, and she was right. Hush could be seen from head to tail. Grandma Poss hugged Hush and they both danced. Here we go round the lamington plate, the lamington plate, the lamington plate. Here we go round the lamington plate till early in the morning. They're dancing together. That's nice. From that time onwards, Hush was visible, but once a year, on her birthday, she and Grandma Poss ate a Vegemite sandwich, a piece of pavlova, and half a lamington, just to make sure that Hush stayed visible forever. And she did. They're all eating their delicious food. Maybe you'd like to have some of those foods for your lunch today. Maybe you could pretend to be invisible. Put a cloak around your body and hide. And then make sure you have a Vegemite sandwich or pavlova or a lamington nearby so that you can become visible again. Oh, there's that spiky echidna with one of Grandma's magical stars. That's a nice book. And it reminded me of this nature box that I had because I saw some things in that book that were similar to some of the things that I'd found. Some leaves, maybe some gum leaves, some of the blossoms, some of the little seeds. I hope you liked the story today. Maybe you can do some puppet play with possums or echidnas or koalas. Or maybe you can make a delicious Possum Magic lunch to have. Maybe you can pretend that some of those foods turned you invisible as well. Hope you have a nice day. I'll see you next time. Bye.